decades ago. I don't remember exactly when I was launched into space. I don't remember exactly why, but what I do remember is that I bought a box full of the best pop culture films and shows. The first week in space was great. But it all went downhill when I went to dump my waste into space. I made a mistake and pressed the wrong button and opened the door to storage room A. My VHS box was launched into space. I went insane due to lack of entertainment and became the Contrarian. Decades later, my ship crashed onto Earth, and I finally got a chance to watch my favorite VHS tapes. When I was done, I was excited to learn that all of my favorite films have had sequels and spin-offs. Little did I know, I was about to go insane again. Shoot. Oh, hey. Hello, everyone. Sorry about that. Let's see. I'm going to check the audio real quick because I forgot to do that. Let's see. Hello, hello? Hello, hello? Hello, hello? Hello, hello, hello? Okay, I can't hear myself. Oh, that's the wrong one. Hello, hello? Hello, hello? There we go. Good, good. All right. Contrarians Log, episode 11. Okay, so this episode we're going to be reviewing some trailers for some movies that are coming out in 2024, and I was just blown away by the subject matter and yeah, just so much about this upcoming season of films, and I think that I need to go through and tell my thoughts about it, maybe give some predictions. But it's really, I mean, I'm pro freedom of speech. Artists can create stories about whatever they want, but it is just like, it doesn't even feel like an artist's vision. It feels like propaganda. And I heard this term used to describe it like predictive programming. Like I'll just show you. It's just like the most divisive, inappropriate film to be putting out there. Anyway, let's go to let's EFAP this thing. There we go. Okay. So the film is called Civil War, and it's it's about another American Civil War, and uh and throughout history Hollywood has chosen to make some specific people the bad guys in movies. Like, obviously we're all used to the German WW2 bad guys classic, and even in sci-fi, like the Empire is homage to that stuff, and everybody's pretty happy with that one. And then around 9/11, the whole terrorists are the bad guys in every film for like a decade, and they keep on doing that, which I actually prefer. If like I don't like it when it's like kind of predictive like that. I don't like knowing who the bad guy is as soon as the movie starts, unless it's like a historical piece, like you know who the bad guys are going to be. But I'd much rather be like assume that some people are the bad guys, and then like some of them are, but there's a couple people in that group that are not bad guys, and they break away and just show a little bit of humanity on both sides type of thing. That's the type of films that I like to watch, and that's why like Finn as a stormtrooper in Star Wars coming or well switching, I almost said coming out, switching to the rebellion, like that's really interesting, and they wasted potential because they didn't really dive into that much. But let's see. But the new era of bad guys in film, which like it's super super strict. There's no, I mean, there are some bad guys that aren't like just white guys, like old white guys. It's like the new bad guy. Um, and there's some characters like Reva, obviously is a bad guy, but she's not white, so it's like, hey, they're actually like anyone can be a bad guy. That's progress. Anyone can be a bad guy. Anybody can be a good guy. That's progress. But it turns out that those characters always have like a good guy turn and turn to become a good guy. Anyway, so let's look at this. Let's watch this trailer, and I'll give my thoughts as we go through. Okay, so that's the first thing, which is really weird, but I think that it's like a red herring. Like, why the heck would Texas and California unite to break away from uh, the United States? Like, they're clearly like politically opposites. So I don't know if this is in like the far distant future or something where it doesn't look like it. It looks like all modern stuff, but anyway, it's very bizarre. Um and I think that that's like, see, it's not political. The bad guys are Texas and California, so it's not political. We're totally fine. But it is. It's very political, and very divisive in a time where I mean, I'm American. We're divided enough. Like, if I let me just give you my opinions on politics. I'm not a political person. I like just watching good shows and movies and stuff like that and talking about them. I don't like politics. Um, but my opinion on politics is whether you're center right or center left, you're good, right? I see politics of not a line. I see it as a circle. That like on the top of the circle, there's center right and center left, and they're really close to each other. And then further they get away from each other, then they start going down on the circle. And on the bottom of the circle where they touch is alt right and alt left. That is what I see. So as long as you're on the top of the circle, then like, and just arguing back and forth with free speech, that's where we want to be. We don't want to be extremists on either sides. So that's my opinion about politics, is just like whether you're center left or center right, you're good to go. And in my opinion, I just don't like extremists of any kind. All right, so let's keep watching. All right, so that's another point. Oh no, I think you guys haven't been able to hear. Oh shoot. Okay. You guys haven't been able to hear this stuff.
Well, you're American.
Okay. Let's see. I might cut it out later. Okay, I'm just gonna skip back to like right here. Okay. So yeah, the president basically said there's like a civil war, and the president says like the California and Texas are like attacking or whatever. So now let's watch this side, or what happens next.
Have suffered a very great defeat at the hands of the United States military.
Mr. President, do you regret the use of airstrikes against American citizens?
We're moving to D.C. today.
We need to go down there.
They shoot journalists on sight in the Capitol. Every instinct in me says this is death.
Flooded.
Every time I survived the war zone, I thought I was sending a warning home. Don't do this. But here we are.
There's some kind of...
All right, so the good guys of this film are journalists, which I'm pro free speech and I like journalists, but not corrupt journalists that lie constantly. And that is a huge problem in our country nowadays, is just lying journalists that just attack random people, and they're like, they're not even journalists either, because like they switch from being politicians, like working for the government, and then they switch from going back to some journalist agency. In my opinion, a journalist is some guy that grabs a GoPro and runs into a conflict to film it, to document what happened. And that can be anyone with a GoPro, anyone with a freaking cell phone, citizen journalists, just people just walk up like, oh shoot, something's happening, and just filming it, and then putting the footage up for everyone to see, and then saying like, this happened today. I'm not sure what's going on, but I was in the middle of it. That is what a journalist is. It's not like these people that are educated to be a journalist. What is that? Educated to be? Why are people going to school to be a journalist when being a journalist is just documenting what is happening around you accurately and putting it out there? That's truly what a journalist is. Where like I just hate journalists that just attack people, like that thing that happened recently where there's a kid at a football game and he was wearing the face paint, the color of the team's face paint, and the photographer specifically, and it was like half and half, black and red, and that was the color of the team, and they specifically took a picture of the side of his face with the black paint on it, and it was pitch black. It was like pitch black. It wasn't like brown makeup. So it was clearly just team colors. And then they're like, look at this racist child, and he was a 9-year-old. He was a freaking 9-year-old. So anyway, I just think that like glorifying journalists and being like, oh no, like we're the journalists and we're the good guys. It's like, come on, guys. There's just like this thing where it's like, oh, trust journalists. Like journalists are, everything they say is honest and true reporting. It's like, no, man, no. Like, anyway, so I just hate that the good guys are journalists. Yeah, journalists have never lied before. Anyway,
kind of misunderstanding here. What? Well, you're American, okay?
Let's roll this back.
What? Well, you're American.
Here we are.
There's some kind of misunderstanding here. What? Well, you're American, okay?
Okay. What kind of American are you? You don't know?
That is obnoxious. That is so annoying. And I love that actor too. Even that performance was really, really good. Like, this guy plays a terrifying bad guy. He was in Breaking Bad, and like, he was just terrifying. Really great actor. but like, what is that? What kind of American? What is like, we're Americans. Like, what kind of American? Yeah, of course there's two different kinds of Americans. There's conservatives and there are liberals. There's right and there's left. And they're both American. Like, what is this division? Why are people like, and it's coming out in 2024, election season. Do you remember like the 2020s, like all the riots on the streets and everything? Why are they doing this? Like, this is not, it's not appropriate. Like, I'm open for free speech and everything, but the timing has me a little suspicious, like a little suspect. What the heck is going on? Oh, perfect film to put out in election season, right? And this era too, where like people are like defaming and accusing everybody of being terrible things. It's not appropriate. We need unity. We need the people to like, yeah, unity. Art can be used to unite people and to divide people. And this film is using it to divide people. Like, anyway, I'm probably going to see it because I want to see if it's actually like super political or if it's not what I'm thinking of. But like everything that it's like pre-propaganda. They want people thinking, oh, Civil War, the other side are the bad guys. And you can't be thinking that. You cannot be thinking that. Jeez.
The Western forces will reach the White House on July 4th.
Oh my God.
Get in the car! Get in the car!
Move, move, move!
You're gonna hang back.
I'm not hanging back.
One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Go, 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 go!
God bless America.
And what was that, the Capitol at the end there? I'm not sure. Was that the White House or the Capitol? I think it might have been the Capitol. So they're more like insurrection, January 6th, like fear, like that's what they're just like, fear, be afraid. It's so gross. Like, why are you people will do things that they normally wouldn't do if they're afraid. So all these fear tactics in the media is just, it's divisive. And like, how about we just talk about the policies, have conversations about the policies, and then we can make a decision based off of that. Not all this, Republicans are so bad. And it's just like, it's so gross. It's so gross. And I hate it. I really hate it. So anyway, and this is a reason why it's so frustrating, is like when you look at like the Big Five personality test, which is the most scientifically accurate personality test, the creative dimension of the personality test, whether you are open, meaning creative, it correlates directly with your political leanings as well. So politics is not even a choice most of the time, because like based off of your personality, you either lean right or lean left. And one of those things is the creative dimension. And so there's not going to be any films of oh, look how bad the left is, because there are the amount of artists out there who are conservative is minuscule. There are like no political, so it's always going to lean this way. It's always going to lean this way. It's never going to lean the opposite way. And unless there's an extremely like enlightened artist who's like, hey, let's tell a story about when my own political preferences go too far, and they tell a story about I don't know, like I don't know what atrocities or that what's it called? Extremist left people do. Like Antifa. Let's tell a story about a Hollywood blockbuster story about Antifa rioting and burning down cities. Like, they're never going to tell a story about that. So, well, I hope someday someone, maybe like extremely far, when we're all long dead, someone will look back at history and tell those stories from just kind of like an objective. It has nothing to do with current era politics, but it's not going to happen. So is this terrible trailer over? Anyway, it reminds me of that film that came out about North Korea attacking our country, the United States, and like winning somehow, and then the Americans had to fight back. It reminds me of that film, except for the bad guys are just Republicans, or just like conservatives. So it's just so ridiculous. Anyway, let's look at the next film on this terrible, terrible upcoming season. I actually a little while ago I was predicting, oh, it's gonna be better. Like, now that like there's more free speech and like it's getting less heated, when it comes to like, since Disney is losing money, then they're gonna put less politics in their films, and we're gonna be able to come together as humanity and be able to enjoy films together. But that's not gonna But apparently, I was hoping that was the case, since like no one's going to see these films that are supercharged politically. But apparently, I mean, we're coming up on election season, so apparently that's totally not the case at all. So let's look at this other film that I just saw today. I think this trailer just dropped. Let's see. So let's go here. All right. So I'm not going to say the title of this film. But it's the American Society of Magical Bleep. Yeah, and when I first heard that, I was like, that is super offensive to black people. Very, very offensive. And then I realized it's a comedy, and it's like, oh, okay, they're making fun of like the old trope of like Hollywood was embarrassed by like how racist they were, like back in the 30s and 40s and up to the 60s. Just they're embarrassed by that, so they tried to overcorrect it, and so they're like, oh no, black people are awesome, they're like really enlightened, they're great, and so that's like another type of racism, which if you say that someone's immutable characteristic, whether it is good or bad, is like it's neither. It's immutable character. You're born that way, so who cares? It's neither. You can be a good person or a bad person, whatever immutable characteristics you have. It's irrelevant, and that's enlightened humans. Like, that's how it was in the 90s. Like, anyway, so but that kind of died down a little bit, and I think that accusation of like, oh, they're making black people like magical or whatever, I think they're confusing the archetype of the mentor, because there's the hero and then there's the mentor, and it's like, what, Gandalf, like, what, he's white and he's not like nothing about his whiteness has any, well, he becomes Gandalf the White, but that's more of wardrobe change than anything else. I guess his hair does become grayer, but maybe that's just because he's dead though. He basically died. I don't fully understand it, but like, yeah. And then all the Harry Potter characters, there's plenty of white magical characters, so I don't think that it's like maybe the complaint is valid for a few films, but it hasn't been a problem in films recently. But apparently this is a comedy. But yeah, let's watch this film and or this trailer, and I'll give my thoughts. And I'd love to hear your thoughts about this too, because I think this film specifically is like, the other one is like politically divisive and is trying to separate the people politically. And so if the people are fighting about their politics, then the elites can do whatever they want. And this is more racial, where if people are fighting along arbitrary racial boundaries, then not boundaries, but grounds, then yeah, it's just elites can, if you're fighting about something that doesn't matter, then elites can screw you over and just like put out policies and do things that really hurt all of us. But we didn't know about it because we were distracted by all the division. It doesn't matter. So anyway, let's listen to this.
I know you can feel their discomfort, Aaron. Watching you walk through a room full of white people was the most painful thing I've ever seen.
Excuse me. Sorry.
I want to take you to a job interview.
There's a recruiting class starting right now, and we got to get you in it.
Welcome to the American Society of Magical
I missed the mute on that.
I don't really understand.
It's easier to shut.
What's
All right, so one thing I just want to say. Let's
the
see.
most dangerous
Let's see.
Animal on the planet.
Okay. Need a. That was actually a good frame right there. Okay. This actor, I mean, I don't know. I haven't done any research, but just by looking at him, he's a mixed race man. This person, I don't know what he's half black and half white of some sort. Like maybe half Irish, maybe half German. I don't know what type of white, but like, I don't know it specific, but he clearly is a mixed race man, right? So this film is racist in both directions. It's racist to black people and it's racist to white people. And it's a comedy and it's horrific. Like this is terrible. Like the shots of the white people looking uncomfortable, disgusting. That is disgusting. Like, anyway, it's so, all right. So it's going to get worse.
What's the most dangerous animal on the planet?
Shark.
White people, when they feel uncomfortable. White people feeling uncomfortable.
All right. That is like, change white to anything else. Anything else. Change it to anything else. And like there would be lawsuits over this. This is awful to say, oh, white people, when they feel a certain emotion, they're the most dangerous animal in the world. What the frick? What the hell? Seriously. Fuck this writer. Okay? I've just decided I'm going to swear in this episode. I was thinking not to, but fuck this writer. This guy is awful. That is a terrible thing for Americans, for people to see. It's divisive. It's divisive. This is so wrong. And keep in mind, main actor, mixed race, most likely mixed race. So that means, yeah, that's going to be awkward for mixed race people to go to their holiday parties and sit down and have a meal. And like, after seeing this trailer, are you kidding me? After seeing this film, and it's supposed to be a comedy. It's supposed to be funny. Like, and it is a comedy, and maybe they're like, well, that was a joke that they said white people are the most dangerous animals in the world. But it's like, okay, but it's not really a joke. It's just an exaggeration of what this person believes, because it's the whole, and then it cuts to an uncomfortable white cop drinking his coffee. It's like, okay, all right, and then, okay, it's just, this is absurd. This is so racist to every race involved in this film, and it's so divisive. And later I'll scroll down to the comments, and people are like praising this. They're like, "Oh, great, this is so funny." And then they have a complaint, and the complaint is not what you would expect. So let's continue watching.
Comfortable precedes a lot of bad stuff.
Okay, I gotta roll it back.
That's why we feel uncomfortable. White people feeling on the planet.
Sure.
White people, when they feel uncomfortable. White people feeling uncomfortable precedes a lot of bad stuff for us. That's why we fight white discomfort every day. Because the happier they are.
I know there's like a thing of black people unfairly being pulled over by cops, and I'm sure that happens, and I'm sure there are racist cops, but you can't just say that all cops are racist. You can't say that. And inherently, cops are uncomfortable all the time. They wear bulletproof vests, and every day they wake up and they're like, ring, ring, ring. Oh, an atrocity happened, and it might still be happening. Go over there and check it out. And that's like their daily basis. Like, they're doing overtime hours on that stuff. So it's like yes, cops are uncomfortable. They've seen terrible things on a daily basis. They're going through like serious what's it called? Some sort of trauma. PTSD. They're going through PTSD, and they're still working. They should probably not have to. They should be diagnosed and taken off the streets when they have PTSD, because I'm sure that causes a lot of issues. But like, when you see a cop, don't think, "Oh, what does he think of me?" Just know, "Oh, a cop has PTSD. This guy has been traumatized, probably like within this week." So it's just so inappropriate. But, and I totally agree that there should be like body cam cameras, and there should be people definitely keeping an eye on corrupt cops, because corruption is everywhere. Like, so there are definitely corrupt cops, and I feel people filming cops when they are getting arrested they probably prefer that, because it keeps everybody like, okay, let's all be like, let's keep things above board and proper. And because there's two cameras showing both perspectives, that'd be a perfect situation. But anyway, all right, let's keep watching this awful, awful film.
The safer we are.
The name needs a little updating, maybe like... The name needs a little update.
Okay.
That's why we fight white discomfort every day. Because the happier they are, the safer we are.
The name...
Okay, we fight white discomfort every day because the more comfortable they are, the more safe we are. That is so wrong. That is disgusting. That is so, and that's the society's magical power, is making white people feel comfortable. That is like I think the movie thinks that's wrong, but I think they think it's how things are, like that this is the status quo. No, it's not. Anyway. It's ridiculous.
Needs a little updating, maybe like magical black people, or I guess that doesn't have the same ring.
You ready?
Oh, wow.
Your first client is adjacent.
It wasn't until that moment where it's like, maybe the name should be updated, that I realized like, oh, this is a comedy. Anyway, okay, so here's this poor freaking actor that had to like embarrass himself by taking this role. Don't take these roles. Stop taking these roles. What the frick?
Month. His morale is far too low.
Hey.
Hey.
Darn it. I was hoping there was a station right next to him.
Oh, is this one spoken?
Okay, so... Oh, his morale is low, so he's gonna become a threat. Are you kidding me? Are you... look at this guy who has morale low, meaning depression issues. Something happened in his family. Something... It's like, are you freaking kidding me? This is absurdly racist to everyone involved. Everyone. every person. These writers are awful, awful. Anyway.
Before?
No.
Yeah, it's actually fun and weirdly relaxing. It's like being a secret agent with none of the danger.
Hey, I'm Lizzie.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
She's great.
Yeah, she's cool.
You kidding? Come on, man. She's smart.
Hey, look, it's a white woman. Like, if you're being like, oh, white people need to feel comfortable, and then the love interest is a white woman, it's like you hate white people in this film. It's like, oh, white people are awful. And, okay, here, I'll
I
say...
know what you're doing going on about her. You're trying to set us up.
No, that's not what I was doing.
You cannot.
Okay, so maybe people might be saying, like, wait, no, she's not white. She's like, I don't know, maybe she's like half Asian or something. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter, but that's besides the point. But let's see, where's her introduction?
I was hoping there was a station right next to him.
Oh, is this one spoken for?
No.
Yeah, it's actually fun and weirdly relaxing. It's like being a secret agent with none of the danger.
Hey, I'm Lizzie.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, so... maybe Hispanic or something? Something like that. Doesn't matter. But the thing is about white, in general, the whole white thing is, you know, a long time ago, it was just a way to identify white people. Like, oh, the white man is coming. Like, that's, like, it's just like, okay, it's two different cultures that have never met, and so to describe them, they're just like, oh, they're the white people. And so so that's how it first came up, and I'm sure it was negative because, you know, obviously, it could have been negative or positive. I don't know it, but I'm sure it has been negative because, but whatever. But and then eventually, when it came to America and immigrants, white people was considered like a good thing, and this is when America was terribly racist. And so when the immigrants came in, they weren't like, first wave of immigrants was well, I don't know if it was the first wave, but a wave of immigrants was the Irish people. The Irish people were not like, didn't come in with the British people, so they came in a lot later, and they had Irish accents and they sounded different, and they weren't considered white. They were not considered white. They were considered the Irish. Like, so they became white after a few generations. Their accents kind of became more like everybody else's accents, so they just consider them white. And then the same thing happened with other cultures that came in to America. At first they weren't considered white, but then they became white when their accents changed. So it's like white people was like multi there's so many different cultures that have pale skin. And so it's like, white people is just like a collection of a bunch of different cultures. And so the term itself is just racist. Let's see. Italians, right. When Italians came in, they had different accents as well. And yeah, they didn't consider them white until a couple generations later. They looked more white, and so they consider them white. So it's like, it's just like, it's an arbitrary thing. And that was back when America was super, super racist. But now it's the opposite, where they even call like black conservatives like holding water for white supremacy, just because they have different political beliefs than what is expected from other people. And so anyway, yeah, so basically anyone that has pale skin can be considered white if they want to be demonized. So it's switched. Like, white is no longer a positive thing. Like, white is bad. And so, like, there's anyway, so this is like, for example, Hispanic people, there's lighter skin tone Hispanic people, darker skin tone Hispanic people. So like if people wanted to demonize specific people, they could just throw them into the category of white supremacists. So anyway, it's just, it's so wrong. It's super wrong that, like, it's so arbitrary. Like, this term white is just a way to demonize people. It's to say, like, you are like the evil people that you might be related to. You look, it's not even if you're related to them, but like if you look like the person, even if your ancestry was like completely different, like all your family's from Ireland, but you look white, and the people that were, you know, slave owners and white supremacists, you look like them, so therefore that sticks to you. So it's just an awful thing to be. I'm kind of rambling now, and I don't really know where I'm going, but I think I got my point across.
Nice to meet you.
She's great.
Yeah, she's cool.
You kidding? Come on, man. She's smart and funny.
I know what you were doing going on about her. You're trying to set us up.
No, that's not what I was doing.
You cannot have a relationship with Lizzie now, because if you don't put Jason...
Okay, so now they're doing like the whole, I know what the comedy's trying to do, but gosh, this poor guy, why did you take this role? It makes you look so bad. Oh man. But anyway, they're doing the best friend, the black best friend, like, that doesn't get the girl thing. So it's like, the white guy just assumes that his friend is setting him up, which, like, when it comes to just character, like, if I met a guy who is like gushing over a girl and being like, oh, she's so great, she's so lovely, da 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 da, I would not assume that they're trying to set them up with me. I would not assume that. That is the craziest off the wall assumption anyone would ever make. It's like someone's just glowing over this woman, and then you're like, oh, you want us to date then? I mean, unless you're being like, don't you think they're cute? Don't you think they're da da da? Like that's how you but he didn't say. What did he say? Let's see. What did he say?
Smart and funny.
I know what you were doing going on about her. You're trying to set us up.
Okay.
I'm Lizzie.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
She's great.
Yeah, she's cool.
You kidding? Come on, man. She's smart and funny.
I know what you were doing going on about her. You're trying to set us up.
No, that's not what I was doing.
You cannot have...
Wait.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
She's great.
Yeah, she's cool.
You kidding? Come on, man. She's smart and funny.
I know.
Yeah, who on earth would interpret that as you should go for her? She's like, oh, she's great. Oh, he's like, oh yeah, she's cool. It's like, no, she's amazing. Like, why would anyone? It's not a funny joke. It doesn't work. It's like, it's meta. It's meta commentating on movies like freaking in the 80s or something, like, or whenever those movies existed. And it's like skipping generations. Like, that hasn't been a thing in forever. There hasn't been rom-coms in forever, because they're putting all the women in action movies and ignoring rom-coms completely. Like, gosh.
What you were doing going on about her? You're trying to set us up.
No, that's not what I was doing.
You cannot have a relationship with Lizzie now, because if you don't put Jason first, everyone's magic will fail.
I've always felt...
Just the premise, like the plot premise is so... If you don't put white people first, then everybody will suffer. Like, that's so... Oh my gosh. Who is writing this? And maybe I shouldn't feel bad for the actors in this film, because it's like, if I read the script, I would be like, dude, are you okay? Do you hate me? Why do you hate me? Why do you hate everyone? Like, why do you see the world like this? dude, the world is beautiful. Like, people are awesome. Like, you don't have to live like this. Anyway, it's supposed to be funny. It's like, no.
Like, it's my job to make white people feel comfortable, and here it literally is.
Okay,
But maybe
okay.
it shouldn't be.
I got a great.
It really is.
Okay.
Everyone's magic will fail.
I've always felt like it's my job to make white people feel comfortable.
What was that shot of him, like, opening the door for, like, 20 white people walking across? That's what happens when there's, like, a building full... Anyone that would open the door, 20... The building was full of people! What is... This is, like, absurd craziness. Look. He opens the door.
I've always felt like it's my job to make white people...
Yeah, there was a room full of people exiting a building, and he opens the door, and they all look at him and smile gratefully. Why is he a jerk opening the door and be like, oh, I didn't open it for you, I wanted to get in? Oh my gosh, this is...
People feel comfortable, and here it literally is.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I always felt like it was my goal or my purpose, or what did he say? What was it? My job, I think.
I've always felt like it's my job to make white people feel comfortable.
That's so racist. It's my job to make white people feel comfortable. It's no one's job to make anyone feel any certain way. Like, what? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? This movie ignores the whole entire concept of white guilt. Like, well, white people feel like guilty because, like, I mean, maybe some people not, they don't all feel exactly the same, but white people feel some degree of some sort of guilt just in high school during history class, being like, oh gosh, dang, that is what? Oh gosh, that's awful. Like, that's how white people feel. Okay, like, are you kidding? It's like, oh, you feel uncomfortable? It's like, yeah, we feel uncomfortable because it's like, geez, do people see me as evil? Or that's the discomfort that white people feel, right? It's ridiculous. Or people just have social anxiety and they feel uncomfortable towards everyone. I'm in that category. I'm uncomfortable towards people. I just walk into a group of people and I'm like, am I standing weird? Am I, what? And then someone's looking at me like, are you uncomfortable? Because no, I'm just uncomfortable in general. Anyway. Yeah, what are these people on?
And here it literally is. But maybe it shouldn't be.
I got a great plan to ask her out, but I'm gonna need your help.
Do you think you could, like, work your magic?
Hey, are you talking about me?
Hey.
Oh my... Wait, are you?
But I've traveled a long way.
Someone defied the society. Who was it?
You didn't let her go like I told you. If you interfere with her or your client, you could have your memory erased. You won't even remember she existed.
Even though we might never see each other again, I need you to know that what we had was real.
I'm curious to see how you gonna make it out of all this.
And I ask you this, movie, if white people feel uncomfortable about black people, why do mixed couples exist? How does that even work? How does someone feel comfortable enough to fall in love with someone if white people feel uncomfortable by people? It's a blanket statement towards all white people that's just awful. And it's also like a blanket statement of like, this is how black people feel about white people. And it's like, this is not the case. Like, America's like a melting pot. Like, everybody's neighbors with everybody. Everybody's relatives with everybody. Like, why are you being so divisive, film? Why would you do that? And now let's look at the comments, because this is ridiculous. Let's see. I'm just gonna have my text-to-speech thing do it, because I don't want to read it.
Love the first half of the trailer.
The rest feels like a trailer for a different movie that I'm less excited about.
Okay, so people are excited about it. So what was wrong with the second half of the film, you think? What do you think?
Thank you for posting the whole plot of the movie in 2 minutes.
Okay. Oh yeah, Key and Peele sketch. It does feel like a Key and Peele sketch, but like with the racism to a million. Right, here, this is the one.
It looks interesting, but I feel like focusing it on a love story is kinda squandering some potential.
Okay, yeah.
The concept is still really great.
Yeah, oh, it's so great, but like, do we have to have a love story? Do you have to have a love story? What's wrong with the love story? Is it the fact that it's a mixed race love story? Do you have a problem with that or something? Huh? What's wrong with love stories in film? There should be more love stories in films. Just wait. Let's see.
Wait, no, why didn't turn into a love story halfway though? I was excited about this.
I was excited about this. Okay, until the mixed race love story started happening, people checked out. So that's interesting.
I love that Jay Baruchel is finally getting more lead actor work.
Okay, that's the lead actor apparently. Let's see. Yeah, anyway, so I guess that's everything. That's the 2 trailers, and people are just like super, I mean, in the comments, I saw someone post this on X, and they're like, what is this racist SH, or I'm swearing already, what is this racist shit? And it's like, true, what is this racist shit? But like here on YouTube, where this stream will probably be censored because like, yeah, all the comments are like, oh, this is great, this is great. It's like I'm living in 2 different worlds. I look on Twitter and people are like, what is this? And it's like, I can't believe people are okay with this. Why are people okay with this type of division in our society? Our culture deserves better. We need movies to bring us together. And this isn't like in comedy, like a stand-up comedian will go on stage and start teasing different groups of people, right? And the thing is, a good comedian will make people feel like, I can't wait till they get to my group of people, whatever group, whatever category you're in, or multiple categories. That's how a good comedian, it's supposed to be a funny joke. Jokes that are funny, not necessarily true, maybe a little truth to it, but groups that or jokes that want people to feel included. Like I want to feel included in this. I want to be a part of the party. Like I want to be. It's funny to be able to be like self-deprecating and all that. Like it's not that type of comedy. Like this is like social commentary comedy. It's like clapter. It's not real. This film is not rated yet. Well, it's stupid. I rate it stupid. I'll rate it for you. 0 stars. Terrible film. March 2020. Is this already out? Oh, this movie's already out. Oh my gosh. Wow, I might do a full review of this movie. Maybe not. I don't know. All right. Well, anyway, hey everybody. This is it for this podcast. Please, be nice to each other. And I just want to let you guys know, immutable characteristics do not define you. You are valid as just who you are. You being you, down to like a soul level. Like, that's the only thing that matters. The fact that you're here and you exist, that's what gives you value, is that you're on this planet. Anyway, all right, everybody.